good afternoon, David. How you doing?
Hey, Justin, good to see you.
Good to see you again. How you been?
Doing well.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what.
Kind of well.
that Falcons game is pretty tough for you. How you doing?
I think that's probably the hardest thing going on in my life right now is that one's probably going to sting forever. So close, so close.
Well, I saw a stat, that it showed the Boston versus Atlanta championships, and not to rub it in anymore, but I saw where Boston had 36 and the Atlanta franchises had 1.
That's right.
So I hate to say when you're that close, there's always next year, but you have a good team coming back. So as a season ticket holder, you should be pretty excited going to a new stadium, and hopefully next year will be a little bit better. This time of year, you'll be going to that championship parade instead of trying to find a way to drown those sorrows.
I know, and Georgia Pacific is right downtown. I knew that I'd be able to view the parade, but well, that's still a sore subject. So maybe we could move on. I don't know if you read my email about what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I did read your email, but obviously I'd like to make sure that I fully understand it from your point of view. So
sure.
If you could please expound upon that a little bit from the topics you wanted to cover, and make sure I fully understand them. And I'm here to listen and see what value I can provide in the process.
Well, I just want to, before we jump into it, I just want to say thanks for making the time. Absolutely. I know you're a busy guy, flying all over the world, that we can make the time for this. So,
my pleasure.
Yeah, so recently I've been given a promotion, and I've accepted that within my current IT organization. But also, right around the same time as my promotion, it was informed to me by my also same supervisor that a new role was coming available in a different IT organization. And the hiring manager from that IT organization has strongly inferred that I should submit my resume and that I have a very good chance of landing the position. So that right now the position is just posted internally. So I just have some conflict internally about all these things happening at the same time. What are the dynamics of that? So just wanted to kind of use this time to sort of talk through that with somebody.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, you've got a new opportunity ahead of you, potentially, but you just received and accepted an opportunity that was just offered to you.
That's right.
Okay, so if
good problems.
Yeah, those are good problems to have, absolutely. If I'm looking at this from your perspective, I think the kind of goal of our discussion is you're looking to understand, is it the right move for you to consider this?
Right.
Is that correct? Okay, and then secondarily, maybe if I don't accept it, is there some residual effects by not considering it as well, since it was brought to my attention?
You got it.
Okay, I fully understand that. What do you think some of the drawbacks are for you not to consider the role?
Well, the new role is a senior program manager, and they oversee and provide strategic direction for all of Georgia Pacific with this particular technology, which I'm familiar with, but also some secondary technologies. Can you restate your question one more time, make sure I want to answer that?
Yeah, I just want to make sure we look at all avenues from the positives and negatives of the potential opportunities. So,
gotcha.
What do you think to begin with, if you don't consider the role, what are the drawbacks?
I would not be climbing the ladder. This position is higher than my current position. So it is a more salary, more prominence, more prestige, and greater influence over Georgia Pacific's IT strategy. So the drawbacks of me not taking it is I wouldn't be able to exert as much influence and just be focusing in my current manufacturing IT organization, whereas instead I'd be for all of Georgia Pacific.
Okay. Do you think it would hurt your networking opportunities or future opportunities by not accepting the role?
I don't think it would hurt, but the new role has more exposure to more divisions, capabilities within Georgia Pacific, as well as Koch Industries. So we'll just say the ceiling is a lot higher with this new role.
Yeah. Why do you think they asked you to take the role? Because obviously managers talk.
Yeah.
They obviously don't come into it blindly. They probably knew you just accepted a role. Why do you think they came and asked you, knowing all that information?
Yeah. Not trying to toot my own horn, but I think in my time at Georgia Pacific, I've continually exceeded expectations. I've been able to do less with more, and been able to be able to make some successes and have some great lessons learned. And I've done that with a smaller amount of staff, and with the larger staff I've been given, been able to climb with larger and larger milestones. So I think I'm in consideration because this combining all the different technologies and providing sort of a large cohesive strategy is a big change, and I think they want somebody that's got a proven track record of success.
Okay. Do you believe that there's other people that would be in consideration for this role, or do you think they came to you seeking for kind of a confirmation that you're interested?
I think they were looking for a confirmation that I'm interested. It did seem a little subversive how they brought it about me, not thinking that they had anything nefarious in mind, but I think that they have me pictured or targeted for the role, and it could be a big opportunity. But yes, I do think some of other people within Georgia Pacific, and just a hunch, but I believe some of my other peers or colleagues also, might be interested in the role, but I don't know if they're being targeted, but I know that they probably would be interested.
So I'll ask maybe an obvious question to me. Is the role something that you're interested in doing, or is this role something you think you have to do?
I'm very interested. I think it's a big opportunity, considering my tenure with the company and at my age. I think it's just a fantastic opportunity. But considering all the dynamics of my recent promotion, I'm very hesitant to immediately jump to a new role, just weeks after accepting this other promotion.
Okay. So I want to have you think about for a minute, if you were guiding somebody in this situation and they came to you, I know you manage a lot of people, if one of your employees came to you with the same challenge, what options would you give them, or what consideration would you give them, or guidance?
So one of the first things I'd ask them is to kind of say, hey, what are your long-term goals? And does this role, is that either your penultimate goal, or do we see that on the same track to meet that goal?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer was yes, I think the answer would be clear. You need to take that role. Opportunity only knocks so many times, and you need to answer that door. Sometimes that gets you out of your comfort zone, but you don't know when or if those opportunities are going to present themselves again.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any concerns that, I guess an observation for myself is that there's a strong desire for the role. I think your bigger concern seems to be that you're potentially looking at if you're going to burn a bridge with the current leader. Have they been supportive of you in the past in taking these type of positions?
So to answer your question about burning bridges, yes. Secondarily, have they been supportive? Yes. My manager, Susan Greger, she's been very supportive. And, funny, sort of small side story, she actually pushed to acquire me from a different team to bring me into her organization from several years ago, right when I started this program. So I know that she sees a lot out of me and thinks that I can do a lot of things. And she even suggested this role. I don't know that she would have, I know that it would hurt her staff and maybe have some setbacks from her, but I think that she would be fully supportive. I think the biggest hang up for me personally is, I put this whole team together that I'm in right now, so I feel like I'd be abandoning the ship a little bit for me to take another role.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't feel that way, but you grow close with people, you lead people. There's a lot of relationships there.
Absolutely. You mentioned that your manager had supported you to take this role. Was this before or after you'd accepted the position?
After I accepted the position, which that's why all these things coming at me, again, good problems to have. And it was actually within a span of about 10 days. So I accepted the promotion a couple weeks ago, and then she forwarded an email of this position, then CC'd the hiring manager stating that I would be a fantastic fit, and insisted that I submit my resume.
Okay. So knowing that even after she offered you this role, you accepted, and she's, after that's even supporting you to take the role, what's your reservations?
I think my reservations come back to, potentially burning bridges with the people on my team. I've gotten to know them. I brought them onto the team, hired them on full time. Some of them, which are from India, decided to extend their stay in the United States as well. They've spoken highly of me. They're a very supportive team. So I think my reservation is primarily rooted around not having that same sort of cohesiveness with them, because I would be moving on to put together a different team as well.
So it's, if I'm hearing you correctly, it's not so much your manager, it's more your team. That's the deep concern, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. As we kind of talk through it, that's kind of where my feelings feel conflicted.
Would this provide an opportunity for somebody in your team, if you did accept the role, for somebody in your current team to step up and become the leader of that team to continue the cohesiveness?
I hadn't really thought about that. I've been, admittedly thinking about my own interests, but potentially. I've got a lot of bright people in my team. I think that they're capable, but I would probably have to do some polling to gauge their real interest of assuming in my position. But I definitely answer your question. Yes, I think they are capable of doing that.
Are you guys big on succession planning and creating a pipeline of potential future leaders? Is this something your organization does? And it sounds like that's something you might have done within this team as well, correct?
We do, absolutely. They're called Nexperts, and we have Nexperts lined up for our developer positions, but unfortunately, cobbler's kids have no shoes. I have not done as well in lining up a Nexpert for myself. Been trying to grow that within the team, but admittedly, I just didn't foresee this happening at the rate that it would be. So need to shore up that and probably do a little bit more succession planning for my own current role.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround for to get promoted and to get another quick offer there. So let me ask this: if we kind of recap, what we've talked about so far was, you took a promotion, quickly got another opportunity, which your current boss who did promote you is supportive of.
Correct.
You're concerned about burning bridges with your current team, but not so much the manager that's supporting you.
That's correct.
It's a role that you're very interested in. You think it's a pathway to career development, better opportunities, more influence, expanding your network within Georgia Pacific. And you potentially could have somebody on your team step up and take your role, which would be a great opportunity for them to assume a leadership role as well.
That's right.
So knowing all that, David, what options would you think, if go back to that giving guidance to somebody else, what's maybe 2 or 3 options you would consider giving somebody else that you can consider for yourself as well?
I think one thing that I would tell them to do is to take a step back and not only consider the narrow marketplace view of Georgia Pacific, Koch Industries, but also consider the wide view, right? What are the dynamics of this current position, new position, and the potential future position as well? What are the dynamics of those in the marketplace? What type of opportunities are available there? Mm-hmm. That way you can kind of gauge how big of an opportunity is this? How frequent or infrequent might this come around? 2 is I would tell them to speak with their loved ones and their families, is to get a sort of a basket of feedback and not to weigh it on one thing. And lastly, I know it sounds cliche, I would tell them to sleep on it. Mm-hmm. I think that we often come to the decision that we know and want, and then we think ourselves into different areas, which I think that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great advice that you would give somebody. So what if I turned that around on you and said, obviously you've been a coach and mentor to many people, well respected within the organization. So if you considered the wide view and considered what it would mean for you and the organization, is there a will there to proceed in that avenue? Do you think it's the right move considering that option?
Yeah, I think ultimately I'm committed to go forward with the role. It's not necessarily a sure thing exactly that I will have the role, but I think at the very least I will go forward. It is a very large opportunity and probably something that I wouldn't have expected to come down, this avenue so soon. When I've looked out, abroad in the market of this role, this is a very senior level position. And I should feel blessed that this has been offered to me at my age and where I'm at in my career. So I'm almost certainly going to apply for it. I just needed and thank you again for being a sounding board and helping me talk through it.
when you think about family consideration, you mentioned family consideration, would it be longer hours? Would it be any more travel? Is that some concerns as well?
It would be more travel between, Coke headquarters out at Wichita, which I don't have to travel to frequently now, and Atlanta. So it would be travel back and forth between there. So it would be more travel. So that is a downside.
Is there a will though to overcome that option or obstacle for the opportunity?
I believe the opportunity outweighs that. The commitments of family are something that I'd have to work out with my wife, and try to find a happy medium there. Don't want to sacrifice that time, so how can I have my cake and eat it too there.
Is she supportive of the opportunity in this role?
She is, and she's very proud of me. She knows how hard I work, not only inside the office, but what also she can do, with the EMBO program as well. So she knows that this is something that I've been focused on.
Okay, great. Well, David, I think I enjoyed our discussion. I think that the one thing that's been very interesting is you looking at the opportunity, you looking at what's ahead of you. I think when you consider what advice you would give another associate on your team, you've uncovered some great advice for yourself. You discovered. What can we set as an action to make sure that the next steps?
Yeah, 1 second. I hear something going off right there. Sorry about that.
No problem.
That's my wife calling me. So some next action items. I think probably getting back together after I've gone into the interview process. Yes. Just sort of checking in from there, seeing after I learn more about the role and the specifics again. I know some high-level details right now, but just sort of reaffirming that if this is the path that I'm going to take, that it's the correct path.
Okay, great. And any consideration for making sure that if there's a proper channel of notification within Georgia Pacific, would that be something that obviously you guys have to follow or recommend following?
Yeah, we do have a standard procedure that we follow for that.
Okay. So I guess if we kind of recap our meeting, obviously got a great opportunity ahead of you. The true reality is that it's something that would be of greater influence, more opportunity for compensation, definitely a step up within the organization. The options are there and available to you to potentially have somebody on your team assume your role in succession. You're being supported by your current boss and potentially future boss.
Right.
You've got the desire to take the role after you've looked at the wide view and your family view. And I think the actions we talked about would be notifying your current boss of the intent.
Right.
And then going through the application and applying and making sure that you are well prepared, right?
Yep, now I just need to, it's been a while since I've had to prep for interviews, so yeah, that's I guess another big milestone as well as to prep for that.
Okay, well, tell you what, David, I wish you the best of luck. I think that you're making a great choice. You're very well respected within the organization. What if we do this? What if we follow up next week? I know it's Monday, so why don't you, maybe let's follow up next Thursday.
That'll work.
I'm wide open on Thursday, so give me a call at your convenience, or just come down and knock on the door. And by that time, you'll have probably went through the application, notified your current boss. And during that process, if anything comes up or any more questions arise, feel free to reach out, send me an email, give me a call, and we can have a further discussion.
Well, I appreciate all the dialogue now. Appreciate your coaching feedback. This means a lot for me to take time out of your day, and I'll follow up with you in a couple weeks.
Sounds great. Thanks, David. Good luck to you. Take care, Jason. Go Falcons.
Go Falcons.